Milan, on the 19th of October last year. 3,000 people came to pay their final respects to Lea, brutally killed by the Calabrian Mafia, the 'Ndrangheta.
Lea, you listened to your conscience and you broke the Mafia's code of silence. The most beautiful way to describe you today is to say that you were a witness to truth. Ciao, Lea.
Lea Garofalo was 35. She had denounced members of her own family to investigators. She wanted to give her daughter a better future away from clan violence. Anti-mafia organizations and representatives of the state have come to praise the courage of this woman, which her lawyer reminds us of in reading this letter which Lea wrote. A cry for help sent to the President of the Republic.
The worst thing is that I already know the destiny that awaits me. Having lost everything, I will die. With this letter, I would like to change the course of my sad story. I need help. Someone help me. I'm a young mother who is desperate. Ciao, Lea.
Denise, her 22-year-old daughter, is here. For her own safety, she has to remain hidden behind this window.
Hello, everyone. I thank you with all my heart for coming. This is a very difficult day for me. But I have found the strength to pick myself up. Mama, if all this has happened, it's for my benefit. And I will always be grateful to you. Goodbye, Mama.
For the Calabrian Mafia, silence is the rule. Those who speak out, the traitors, are eliminated. Today, wives of Mafia families have decided to stand up against the 'Ndrangheta. Putting their lives in danger, they have said no to one of the most powerful Mafia organizations in the world. In the south of Italy, facing Sicily, is Calabria. A poor region not much bigger than 12,000 square kilometers. It is populated by farmers and shepherds, which is traditionally a region of emigration. Calabria is also home to the 'Ndrangheta, a formidable criminal organization which controls every square centimeter of the territory. The Calabrian Mafia draws its strength from the heart of the Aspromonte Mountains, where access is difficult. Long-time specialists in kidnapping, they would hide their hostages in the dense forest. Forests which also shelter the site of a cult. The sanctuary of Our Lady of Polsi. Every year on the 2nd of September, thousands of Calabrians make the pilgrimage here to praise the Virgin Mary and ask for her protection. "48 hours of uninterrupted fervor and traditional songs and dances to the rhythm of tambourines. A gathering which the 'Ndrangheta managed to appropriate. a fact condemned by the Bishop of Polsi in a surprising speech.
Historic events over the last century have linked this sanctuary to the sad phenomenon of organized crime. Unfortunately, and in blasphemous fashion, Our Lady of Polsi is seen as the Madonna of the 'Ndrangheta.
The shadow of the Calabrian Mafia looms over the whole assembly. Mingling with the faithful are mafiosos, who have come from all four corners of the planet. The 'Ndrangheta, an organization whose members today are spread across the entire world, meet here every year by the Madonna. The bishop is addressing them directly.
I am bold enough to make a final plea to those amongst you who are still able to change, to finally put an end to and stop this corruption. The production and trafficking of drugs, bribery, homicide, gambling, living off others. We know it's a facade. So, in the name of God and of the Virgin Mary, which you proclaim so fervently, in their names, I ask you to put down your arms, hand them in, destroy them.
These prayers are in vain. In reality, the pilgrimage is often the occasion which allows the Mafia to meet in order to make important decisions. The 'Ndrangheta is a feudal society where the rule of silence reigns. A rule of silence which even Don Pino Strangio, the priest in charge of the sanctuary, dares not break.
There are no Mafia meetings in Polsi. People just meet here to exchange ideas and their thoughts on life. Of course, they sometimes make decisions and choose to do wrong. But I think that the true believer, the pilgrim who comes here to Polsi, is quite different.
The 'Ndrangheta, an invisible 100-year-old group, has become one of the most powerful criminal organizations in the world. A few kilometers from here, a member of the Calabrian Mafia has agreed to meet us. Mastro Ciccio, aged 73. Officially, he was a baker, but at the age of 17, he entered the service of his clan.
When I first started, this is how it happened. They made a cut in my left hand, and the bosses. We were united with our blood, swearing never to betray our honorable society, our clan. You always have to obey the boss's orders. He was the one who baptized me. He's the only one in command. The only one.
The head of the clan finishes the baptismal ceremony by burning a tiny image of St. Michael the Archangel, the patron saint of the 'Ndrangheta. The threat is clear. If you betray us, you will burn in the same way as this holy image. Mastro Ciccio wants to show his tattoos, a code of honor on the skin.
This is the Rose of the Winds. It signifies that the 'Ndrangheta is present all over the world. The 'Ndrangheta is a seed which we sow in all winds. All over the whole world there are accomplices, representatives. The butterfly means that you must remain humble, like a butterfly. Not shy, but never arrogant. There it says, as long as I live, I shall not fall in the mud. That means I will never dishonor. It means that I'll never betray.
Traitors. The 'Ndrangheta hardly has any. This sprawling mafia is based on blood ties. Family units, closely knit, called Cosca. At the heart of the family, rules are strict. The men do the business, the women have no rights.
A woman must do the household chores. She cannot take part in our affairs. She must be a woman, no more.
Unexpectedly, one of them has agreed to meet us. Hiding behind her scarf, she tells of an everyday life of stashes and drugs.
My sisters and I understood it all from the age of 10 or 11. We saw the raids, the trafficking in the house. Then you begin to realize what kind of world you live in. You ask your mother and she explains everything. Everything you see and hear has to stay buried inside you. I know the places where my father hides things, but I would never tell, even if I was tortured to death. We have to hide the weapons, the ammunition. We know about the drugs, all the trafficking, but we can't say anything. When my father murders someone, I know when he did it and how he did it.
And in your opinion, are all the women in all the clans aware?
Yes, nearly all.
Daughter of a boss, at 22 she has always respected clan law, which guarantees her protection and wealth.
Everyone respects us. We never go out alone. We're always with junior members of the clan. If a young man approaches without asking my father's permission or from the junior members chaperoning us, he will be hit or get threatened. You can also go into the shops without paying. You never have to wait to see a doctor. As soon as he knows who you are seen before everyone else. People respect you. You go into a bar and it's all free. In this life, luxuries and money come easily. You get respect. Every door is open for you.
A mafia lifestyle with its codes of honor. A life which Lea betrayed. Her punishment was death. Lea was born in Petilia Policastro, a village with a population of 9,000. She belonged to one of the most powerful mafia families in the region, the Garofalos. Lea's brother Floriano was the local boss. Ever since she was 15 years old, she had only one desire: to flee the village of her birth and her destiny as a daughter of the mafia. Her lawyer Vincenza Rando became her confidante before she died.
She told me, my father was killed when I was a baby. My grandfather and my uncle were killed. I had this image of women in family always dressed in black. We were always in mourning. At 15, Lea already knew that the 'Ndrangheta brought nothing but death.
In the summer, when she is 15, Lea falls in love. She runs away to Milan with her new boyfriend, Carlo Cosco, in the hope of finding a new life, far away from the mafia. Lea and Carlo move into this building near the station. She doesn't know that it is the headquarters of the Cosco clan and a hotspot for dealing in Milan.
The clan had absolute control over the building where it carried out all its illegal business. They dealt drugs, they stashed cocaine, which they sold on. They controlled the whole neighborhood of the Via Montello. In this sector, everyone knew who the Coscos were.
Lea realized that Carlo had wooed her for a very specific reason.
Carlo hadn't chosen her because he was in love, but because she was the sister of Floriano Garofalo, a 'Ndrangheta boss, and Carlo wanted a career in the 'Ndrangheta.
Powerless, Lea is forced to continue to live the life she wanted to escape. She sees everything, hears everything, but she has to keep silent. At 17, she becomes a mother, and her life becomes a living hell.
He didn't let her go out. He didn't give her any money. One day, she stood up to him and said, "If you don't change your life, I'm leaving. I don't want to bring up my daughter like this.
Carlo abuses her. He becomes increasingly violent. It lasts for 11 years. Finally, in 2002, in order to escape, Lea does the unthinkable. She places herself under police protection and tells them everything: the trafficking, the stashes, the names of the bosses. But the police do nothing. No one at the center of the Cosco clan is worried. Lea is desperate.
For unexplained reasons, difficulty with the inquiry, lack of proof, her declarations were useless.
For 7 years, the inquiry drags on. Lea's life gets no better. Shunted from hotel to hotel by the police charged with protecting her.
Justice failed. Here is someone who turned to the state, and the answer she got forced her back into the arms of her aggressor.
7 years after betraying her clan, at the end of her tether, Lea calls her ex-partner Carlo to ask him for help. He offers to see her in Milan, but it's a trap. Vincenza Rando, her lawyer, does everything in her power to dissuade her from going, in vain.
It's as if she had a meeting with destiny. She said to me, "Mom, may God bless you. I thank you very much for what you are doing, but now I have to go to Milan. And you see nothing will happen to me. I promise you, I will be very careful."
For this meeting, Lea's life insurance is Denise, the daughter she had with Carlo. CCTV cameras film the two young women in the streets of Milan. Denise, 17 at the time, dressed in black, and Lea in white. They are going to meet Carlo. It's 24th November 2009. Carlo leaves with Denise, leaving Lea alone on the pavement. These are the last images of Lea. Denise can't get hold of her mother. In a panic, she calls Lea's sister.
I told Denise immediately, "They have made your mother disappear." She started crying, saying, "It's not true. I don't believe it. She was with my father." I replied that he was the one who did it.
There was no doubt in your mind?
No, I never had any doubt.
The court never had any doubt either. In 2012, Carlo and 5 members of the clan are sentenced to 25 years in prison for Lea's murder. 1 year later, an appeal begins. At the Crowd of Justice in Milan, the crowds are gathered. Behind the bars, Carlo and his accomplices. Carlo wants to make a confession to the court. A dramatic coup. Having always denied murdering his partner, for the first time he's going to admit it.
I confess to the homicide of Lea Garofalo. I want to say that I do not understand why today my daughter Denise is under state protection. Who should she be protected from? I would give my life for my daughter. I deserve her hatred because I killed her mother. Woe betide anyone who touches my daughter. I pray that one day she will forgive me. Thank you.
A few days later, it's the turn of his daughter Denise to give evidence. Positioned behind the screen so that no one can recognize her, she tells of the days following her mother Lea's disappearance. Alone and confused, Denise is afraid of her father and refuses to see him.
A few days after my mother disappeared, it was my 18th birthday. My father insisted on organizing a birthday party for me. He called my friends and lots of other people, but they celebrated without me. I refused to go to the party.
After Denise's evidence, behind the screen, tongues are loosened. A member of the clan has also decided to collaborate with the law in exchange for early release. Carmine Venturino was charged with having disposed of Lea's body.
We went up to the apartment, and as soon as we put on the light, we saw Lea Garofalo's body, which was on the floor. We turned her over. She had marks of blows on her face, and her clothes were ripped around her chest. There was a green lace around her neck, which she had been strangled with. We took the body and put it in a box.
Carmine Venturino and an accomplice took the box with Lea's body about 15 kilometers out of Milan. Behind this fence.
Once we were there, we got a barrel, and then we put Lea's body into it, head down, and set fire to it with petrol.
After his confession, fragments of Lea's body were found. The inquiry found that after being burnt, her body was dissolved in acid. The appeal court upheld the convictions for 5 of the 6 found guilty.
In the name of the Italian people, the second section of the Milan Court of Appeal upholds the sentence of 25 years imprisonment for the accused Carlo Cosco, Giuseppe Cosco, Vito Cosco, Rosario Curcio, Massimo Sabatino.
In Petiglia Policastro, in the little village where Lea was born, her sister Marisa takes us to the cemetery. She shows us how all her family has fallen victim to the unrelenting laws of the 'Ndrangheta.
Here's my mother's tomb, and also my father's. This is my brother. Sadly, all my family is here. I'm the last one.
They were killed by the 'Ndrangheta?
Yes, my brother, my father, my sister, all of them. My brother was killed because he was supposed to punish Lea. He was supposed to get rid of my sister, but he didn't. He would never have been able to kill her, so he killed himself before Lea was eliminated.
Lea was not only eliminated by the 'Ndrangheta, her story also appears to have been erased from the whole village's memory.
I wanted to know what you think of this story.
I don't know. I've never lived here. I've always lived abroad.
I've been away for 60 years.
60 years, so no one has an opinion on this story?
What story?
You don't know the story of Lea Garofalo?
No. Oh, yes. Well, no, I don't.
Do you know what happened with Lea Garofalo?
No, I don't.
Don't you know the story?
No, I don't know what you're talking about.
I was never here. I was in hospital, absent.
So none of you has an opinion and I'm sitting at the village bar? Okay, thank you.
The rule of silence once more. We try our luck at the church, with the priest who conducted the Mass in memory of Lea. We question him and pretend that we are not filming.
Hello. I'm a friend of Lea's. Would you be prepared to talk to me about it?
No, I arrived a lot later. I never knew her.
Just a few minutes.
I'm telling you, I didn't know her.
Are you scared to talk about it?
No, I don't know anything. Nothing at all. Nothing at all. Are you filming?
No, we're not filming. I'd like to ask you some questions.
And I've told you I can't talk about something that I don't know about.
But you have an opinion?
No, I don't know anything. I can't invent what I don't know. I don't know anything.
Okay. Goodbye.
Nobody knows anything. But Lea's family has not completely disappeared. This man in the striped t-shirt is her uncle. He remembers particularly that Carlo, her killer, was a charming man.
With me, Carlo Cosco always behaved very well. He admired me, came to eat at my house. Lea was a nice girl. I cannot judge either of them.
Yeah, but he killed her.
That I don't know.
After what happened to my sister, people are afraid. They're frightened of speaking, of putting themselves at risk, of appearing on television. The 'Ndrangheta have threatened to kill my son because I spoke about Lea on television. They can do anything. They start with threats, they torch your car, set fire to your house. Their warnings are very precise. If you ignore them, they will definitely kill you.
Marisa takes us to Caterina's, the only one of Lea's friends in the village who dares to talk about what happened.
Amongst ourselves, we say that Lea did the right thing, but no one can publicly stand up to her ex-husband.
Why, is he dangerous? Is he powerful?
I think that the Mafia, people who belong to this family, are powerful. We grew up in this culture. People who live by illegal means have power, and so no one wants to stand up to them.
The Coscos. No one can touch them in the region. We met one of the very few reformed bosses of the 'Ndrangheta. He agreed to meet us at his home where he lives under state protection. Luigi Bonaventura was head of a clan which worked with the Coscos. Sentenced to 15 years imprisoned for 2 murders, he was involved in activities from trafficking drugs to extortion. Like all the men in the 'Ndrangheta, Luigi was brought up like a child soldier, programmed to take over from his father.
I remember shooting for the first time when I was 10. I don't know if I did before. Then from 12 to 14, I had specific training in different types of weapons. From Kalashnikovs to rifles. From pistols to machine guns, and so on and so on. They taught us to kill people. Yes, they teach us to kill from a very early age.
His mother tried to fight against this education as best she could.
My poor mother. She was beaten, kicked, pistol whipped, standing up to my father. She didn't want me brought up like that.
Luigi understands women who, like Lea, rebel at the heart of the 'Ndrangheta. He has followed the trial of the young woman's assassins. According to him, at his hearing, Carlo did far more than read out a letter. He sent a message to the Calabrian Mafia.
First, he touches his ear, which means listen. Then he touches his eye to say look. Then he touches his mouth to make them understand he will say nothing. He gave other clear messages, like the jacket he had over his shoulders while he was talking.
The jacket means that Carlo Cosco has moved up the ranks, that he deserves respect.
He wanted to reassure the 'Ndrangheta.
He won't talk. He will assume all responsibility, but in exchange, he makes it clear that no one should touch his daughter, Denise. He is paying the price for what he did, and to guarantee his daughter's immunity, he will keep silent about what he knows. Today, Cosco has become a role model for Calabrian mobsters. For the 'Ndrangheta, Cosco is a symbol, an example to follow. The beacon which lights the way that all the Mafia must follow. Even if it means killing a member of your own family. Honor killings purify blood. You must always keep silent. And everything you do must be in the interests of the criminal organization. That's what the 'Ndrangheta is.
Today, Luigi Bonaventura is collaborating with police all over Europe, trying to dismantle the 'Ndrangheta. For the most discreet of the Mafia organizations has, over the last century, become a huge criminal multinational. Its main source of revenue is cocaine, and its estimated turnover is 53 billion euros. In Calabria, one man knows better than anyone the power of the 'Ndrangheta. Barricaded in his courthouse, he has fought a relentless battle with it for 26 years. Nicola Gratteri is deputy prosecutor in Reggio Calabria.
The 'Ndrangheta has always been thought of as a poor mafia organization, a category B mafia, which wasn't worth worrying about. But in fact, they were being underestimated. The 'Ndrangheta has done a lot of business.
Every month, the 'Ndrangheta brings tons of cocaine into Europe, and most offer by boat from South America. Its main ports are Hamburg, Rotterdam, Antwerp, Barcelona, and most importantly, of course, Gioia Tauro in Calabria. Here in 2002, 2 tons of cocaine were seized. It had been hidden in jars of vegetables, tins, furniture, and even blocks of cement.
Today, the 'Ndrangheta has almost complete monopoly over the importing of cocaine into Europe. It has men in Colombia, in other parts of South America. Their job is to buy the cocaine at the lowest price.
The cocaine was transported in these 31 suitcases, registered to names of fictitious passengers on the same commercial flight, originating in Caracas, Venezuela, and heading for Roissy.
Sometimes drugs also arrive by plane, as they did here at this airport in Paris last September.
The biggest cocaine haul in France, 1.3 tons of pure drugs held by the Criminal Investigation Department, worth 50 million euros.
Important takings, but only representative of 10% of the drugs imported by the 'Ndrangheta in Europe. Once the cocaine arrives on the continent, a vast network gets to work.
Europe is full of Calabrian mafia on the run. While they're at large, they sell cocaine.
An effective web, discreet, highly elusive. For the police, the fight against the 'Ndrangheta is particularly difficult. Unlike other mafia organizations which have a pyramid-like structure, the 'Ndrangheta is formed of hundreds of families that are autonomous, independent one from another. Sometimes these families kill amongst themselves, as they did in Duisburg in Germany. It was in 2007 that 2 clans waged war for the first time outside of Italy.
Settling of accounts Calabrian style in Germany. 6 Italian immigrants were found dead, killed by several bullets, including one in the head in Duisburg. The victims, aged between 16 and 39, were all linked to the Calabrian mafia.
In one of the victims' pockets, the image of the Archangel Michael with his head burnt, a signature. The world discovers the 'Ndrangheta, and the police intensify their surveillance. In Calabria 2 years later, during the famous pilgrimage of Our Lady of Polsi, thanks to CCTV, the authorities identify the most powerful 'Ndrangheta bosses. The big boss. This old man is Domenico Opedisano, aged 80. He's holding an informal meeting outside the church.
What we've managed to do would never have been possible without me.
We know.
Thanks to this video, the police discovered the existence of a secret body, Crimine. At the heart of the Calabrian Mafia, they check that rules and codes are respected among the Cosca.
The Crimine belongs to no one, but makes decisions for everyone. They have to represent us.
After this recording, inquiries were launched. Nearly 50 mobsters were arrested, including the big boss, Domenico Oppedisano. Today he spends his time in prison. Since then, the fight against the 'Ndrangheta has doubled in intensity. The police have toppled other clans. Notably in April 2010, that of the Pesce family, one of the most powerful on the Gioia Tauro plain. 40 mobsters from the clan are arrested and imprisoned. Among them, Giuseppina Pesce, known as Giusy, the big boss's niece. Aged 32 and a mother of 2 children, Giusy can't cope with prison. After 2 suicide attempts, she decides to collaborate with the law and denounce her clan. Alessandra Ceretti is the prosecutor who persuaded Giusy to betray her family.
First, she made us a flowchart of the clan with the role of each member of her family. She showed all the criminal activities undertaken by the clan. She listed their assets, one by one. Everything the clan uses for money laundering.
Giusy's evidence has terrible repercussions for her family. Ciccio Pesce, her cousin, the boss of the clan, is arrested. He is found in his secret hideout, built almost unbelievably under a criminal investigation yard. Bunkers like this, the Pesce family has 8 of them in the area. They were all found thanks to Giusy. We were able to visit one of the hideouts, built under a stable. 2 rooms, a kitchen, a bathroom, air conditioning, television, internet, and not forgetting the prayer corner. Enough to keep you going for several months. Again, thanks to Giusy, the police seized assets from her family that had a value of 220 million euros. Including the ultimate symbol of their power, this huge villa overlooking the town of Rossano. It is extremely golden and kitsch in the extreme. The Calabrian version of Scarface's mansion. The 25th of September 2000, the court in Palma in the south of Calabria. Unusually, the Italian court has allowed us to film.
Here present is Mrs. Giuseppina Pesce, born in Gioia Tauro on the 24th of September 1979.
Today, Giusy Pesce must once more give evidence against her clan. For security reasons, she is not present in the court. The interrogation takes place by video conference. Giusy is the small dark head with her back to us, opposite a clerk of the court.
The Pesca family is the one which has total control over the town of Rosarno. They know everything that happens in Rosarno. If a shop opens, it must be acceptable to the clan. If there's an argument, a murder, anything that happens must be run past the boss of the Pesca clan, by my family.
Every time she talks, Giusy goes further and gives more explicit information.
My brother collaborated with the Palaia family for drug trafficking and raids. He worked with Gaetano Palaia. With him, it was gun running. They spoke about pistols, machine guns, rifles.
Giusy now lives with her children, hidden and protected by state officials. And they are the only ones with the right to talk to her. We spent 6 months negotiating with the Italian authorities in the hope of interviewing her. It was worth it in the end, as we get what is, to this day, the only interview she has ever given. We have a meeting in a military barracks. Giusy is already there, tapping her mobile phone. She leaves it to her lawyer to establish conditions for the interview. Don't ask very personal questions, nothing too personal or precise. We will give more details later when her trial is over.
Giusy is still on trial for her Mafia connections.
Is that okay for you, Giusy?
Don't worry, I'll ask you questions, but if you don't feel comfortable, don't answer.
The interview can begin. Giusy doesn't want to be seen as a heroine.
I am the daughter of Salvatore Pesca. I belong to the Mafia family of Rosarno. Until 2010, I lived in Rosarno. I led a normal life. I was married. I had 3 children. I had a job. I always worked in my father's companies, supermarkets, clothes shops, or in my father-in-law's business. We women, our role was to help the men, to support them when they were in prison, to visit them, and if it was necessary, pass information on to the Mafia outside, to the brothers, the bosses of the clans. Even if you know it's a crime, you do it.
What Giusy is most proud of is managing to extricate her children from the clutches of the Mafia.
My son had already been conditioned, like the others. He would also have had a future in the Mafia. That's how it works. At 18, they would have given him a gun. I wanted something different for him to study. But no, he can't study. Why should he study? He will do what his father did, what his uncle did. I was against that, of course, but in the end, they are the ones who are in charge, not us. My children were out there, alone, without me. I would probably have been inside for years. Time would have passed, and they would still have been there. I needed to protect them.
Since Giusy's arrest, a large number of the Pesce family are in prison. On this security camera is Rocco Pesce, one of her uncles. 3 women have come to talk to him. He affirms that he is still in control of the town and issues a death threat against Giusy.
You think I don't know what's going on? I know everything. I have spies everywhere who write to me. Tell me everything. They're my people. I don't need to see. I know everything. We're losing all form of dignity. The bitch that no longer looks you in the eye must be killed quickly, or else she'll scratch you all over.
We went to Rossano. It has a population of 12,000 and the highest number of crimes linked to the 'Ndrangheta. Giusy's grandmother still lives here. She has always had a fruit and vegetable stall, despite the wealth of her clan. We approach her.
Good morning, madam. Are you Giusy's grandmother?
Yes, but she's not here.
What do you think she did?
She's a naive young girl. She understands. She'd had it. And you know what the judges did? They tricked her into saying things that are not true. Everything she said is false. All my children are in prison. I'm just a little old lady, on my own. And if I fall, there's no one left to look after me. I'm right, no? Soon I will die, and I will die alone with my sorrow with no one.
But if they're all in prison, they must have done something.
Nothing. I swear. My son died in prison. They didn't give him his medication. He died in prison. It's a sin against God. He has 4 children. Why didn't they take him to hospital? Because his name is Pesca. So, just because your name is Pesca, it doesn't mean you have done something wrong. My children haven't killed anyone. They haven't stolen, they haven't set a bad example to young people.
I know that they want to kill Juicy for what she did.
Who wants to kill her? She's been gone for such a long time. Who could want to kill her?
We don't have permission to talk to Mrs. Pesce. In less than 5 minutes, a member of the clan comes to ask us to leave.
Please turn off that camera.
Of course. Stop the camera.
We don't want any trouble. There's enough here already.
Giusy has caused trouble at the heart of the town. Few women in the Calabrian Mafia are prepared to forgive her.
If you knew where Giusy was, would you tell the 'Ndrangheta?
Yes, because she didn't honor the code. She sent the Mafia to prison. She denounced them, so yes, I would tell them where she is, so they could kill her. She has betrayed her own kind, and she should be punished. Wissy is a dead woman walking for the 'Ndrangheta, forever. No one will forget her. That's not possible.
Despite the risks, another young woman rebelled. Maria Concetta Cacciola decided to follow Giusy's example. Aged 31, mother of 3 children, she was married at the age of 14 to a mobster. She too denounced her clan to the authorities.
She told us, I want to do the same as Wissy, to tell you everything. She asked for help, wanted to be placed under protection, which we did immediately. We moved her. But after a while, she missed her family too much, and she made the mistake of contacting them.
A fatal mistake for Maria Concetta. Her mother begged her to come home. It was a trap. The police recorded the last telephone conversation between the 2 women.
Hello.
Mama.
Papa said you didn't want to come home because you were ashamed.
Clever blackmail by a mother to get her daughter to come home in order to punish her and save the honor of the clan.
I'm finished. I'm dying. Do you understand?
I understand, but leave me alone.
No, you don't understand. They are using you. They've turned your head. Now you must decide between them and us. If you love your children, if you love us, your brothers, your father and me, like we love you, you must come home. It's simple.
Maria Concetta obeys her mother. Her return home will be brief. The next day, her parents will claim that she has committed suicide by drinking acid.
Acid is often used by the 'Ndrangheta as it has great symbolic value. It's mainly used to clean toilets, and it enters into the mouth, the same mouth which was open to talk. And so it sends a strong message to the outside world. Look what happens to those who talk. Like the filth in toilets, it destroys both inside and out. I was devastated because I knew Zeta. We were friends. It was obvious that if she went home, they were going to kill her. A woman who rebels causes fear. Why do women rebel? Why has this one rebelled? If one has, then others might, and then they will lose control.
Why? Is it a disgrace if they can't look after their wives?
Yes. They lose credibility. A man who can't manage his wife If he can't control her, like my case, it's serious.
In questo caso, insomma, così è grave.
For the moment, only 3 women have rebelled in the Calabrian Mafia. 2 have paid with their lives. The others remain silent and carry out their duty, to give their sons the strength to kill. Mothers sing to their children even in the cradle.
Guardate sto figlio mio quant'è sti bello, come somiglia lo so papà, e tu da fare grandi presto a crescere, spero che te sempre a maniari.
A culture of crime omnipresent in Calabria. Even Giusy remains pessimistic.
Seen from the outside, you might think that they have been stopped, that they are less powerful, but the 'ndrangheta is powerful, and it is everywhere. There is always someone to take over. There's always someone.
La vendicari.